Welcome to a very special episode of Mark Media. This time, a solo episode with moi, Greg, who usually is with Zach, but Zach did not want to see Borderlands. Neither did my youngest brother, who I was trying to get them to go, but they were like, "I don't want to see it." I was like, "Oh." I figured Devin would, but you know, did not share the same sentiment as I, because going in, obviously, this movie was getting panned pretty hard, and I was seeing a lot of, just a lot of criticism, obviously, from critics and YouTubers alike, with via thumbnails and titles and everything. I think I saw the movie got 3% on Rotten Tomatoes, which that's the thing though. So like I going in, I'm thinking, I'm going to watch the worst movie ever. It's going to be so fun. But 9 times out of 10, these worst movies are just boring. Or they're just not, you know? It's almost disappointing. It's like, video game movies have a spotty track record. In fact, I dare say it only in recent years has started to be viable. And but that's mostly with like the Sonic movies and the Mario movie, and with the TV shows. I think like The Witcher and the animes like Castlevania, Resident Evil had a couple good animes, but like through the medium of like movies, like cinema movies, it has a spotty track record. And again, as I said before, I think really Mario and Sonic are like really the kings of it. Because those Resident Evil movies I said earlier, the first two to me are so stupid. They're so fun though. It's just fun action, like zombie action, and I think honestly, I really love Nemesis in the second one. I think they did. You could tell it's not CGI. They went out of their way to make a mask or whatever makeup, and it's so good. I love it. Now, the story, when you put story and logic to it, doesn't make sense. Dumb, stupid. Why did they have to change something that could have easily translated well enough to movies with story plot elements and such? But, movies go to movie, and that's just what they do for some odd reason. So, going into this, like I said, I expected the dirt worst. And expected, at the very least, dumb fun. But I feel like if it was dumb fun, it wouldn't get a 3%. It would have gotten maybe a 20 or a 30. But no, it got 3. Borderlands in itself. So I am a huge Borderlands fan. Anybody that watches the Twitch channel or watches the YouTube VOD or throughout the years, I've always played the Borderlands games. I played all of them. Adored them. First one, classic. It's like comfort food to me. Second is the best one. The best. Like, no comparison. It's the best Borderlands game. Pre-sequels, it's just, they tried with like a cool little spin-off, and I just didn't think it. I didn't like it, That was, there's not really much else to say. I just summed it up there. Maybe someday I'll replay it, because Borderlands 3, when I first played that, I didn't like it. But when I played it a second time, probably like a year or two later, I really liked it. I appreciated it a hell of a lot more than I did when I first played it. In fact, I had a blast with the gunplay in that game. So, the Borderlands games, the things about it are, the guns, the enemies, the humor, which is a heavily debated topic in Borderlands, is the humor. Because when it lands, and it's hilarious. But God, there's a lot of times where I'm just like, oh, not funny. Just blah. Or I just don't laugh, And I'd rather just not laugh and just kind of move on than groan. Which I think I did groan once during the movie. I think it was like something about, Tina being special. I'm just like, ugh, stop. Just stop. God damn it. So, another thing is like they released this Borderlands podcast, which excellent listen. Check it out. It's on. It's probably on all your favorite listening apps, along with this podcast. And at the same time, though, it was very fluffy. They didn't cover any of the criticisms, especially because when I listened to the pre-sequel episode, I was like, they have to touch on it. They didn't. I'm like, are you serious? I think they barely touched on the criticism with Borderlands 3. And I noticed on the YouTube channels, if you watch the episodes with Randy Pitchford on them, they turned off the comment section. Randy Pitchford is for those who don't know, he's behind Gearbox, Borderlands, and he's a very eccentric, very high opinionated of himself, and he just, like, sometimes, like, when I listen to him talk on the podcast, there's times where, like, I think he's engaging, I think he knows how to talk, I think he knows how to really hold a conversation, I think he knows how to draw interest, like dropping the bombshell about Lilith's future in the game franchise on the final episode. Just throwing it out there, But at the same time, he's a goof. I just think he's such a goofball. So, yeah, Randy Pitchford's a weirdo. So, he talked about in the podcast as well, he sees a franchise, like shows, cartoons, movies, which obviously that's how this movie came about. And I remember leading up to the movie where just the cast would drop, like Jack Black as Claptrap, Kevin Hart as Roland. That's the one we're like, what? And for me, the coolest one was Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis. But going to the movie, I didn't know who Marcus was until I saw him and went, holy shit, that's Dutch Vanderlyn from Red Dead Redemption. His real name, I believe, is like Benjamin, I could get to you here in a minute, but Benjamin Byron Davis, there we go. Yeah, so Benjamin Byron Davis was Marcus, which I think is a pretty cool tie, because like it's both cinema and video games, and he's able to be in both. And I know him as Dutch, so the friend would be Marcus, which I thought he was a pretty fun Marcus, actually. I thought he did, looked like Marcus, so that was pretty cool. The guns in this movie, they didn't stand out to me, and that's the thing about the Borderlands games, is how aesthetically they stand out, and use-wise they stand out. Which, I mean, I guess when you have, like, as many guns as Borderlands has, I mean, they're all going to blur together. But I just feel like, because, like, I know Roland's gun was, like, black, and I saw a couple, like, cool, fun-shaped ones, but it's like, make them all neon colored. Like, make them stand out, because that's the fun part of Borderlands, is, like, the gun designs. Like, I love the Malawan guns, the Hyperion guns. But other than that, aesthetically, seeing that art style brought to live action was really cool. I think Claptrap looked great, especially the costumes, and which is weird because leading up to this promotional material, leading up to this movie, it looked like shit. It looked like fan-made stuff, which nothing wrong with fan-made stuff, but when this is an official movie with a budget, you expect more, I guess. But as I was watching the movie, it definitely grew on me, and I actually really enjoyed the set pieces. I enjoyed the character designs, and the characters they chose for the film. So they had the group was Lilith, Tina, Roland, Krieg, and Tannis. Which I think, honestly, if you're gonna pick a group of people, not a bad group. Because like Tannis's favorites amongst people, she's my favorite too. Krieg, another favorite of mine. Tina, like, you gotta have Tina, right? I think they went with, for the bad guy, they went with the Atlas people, which I want to say in the first game they were the bad guys. I think they expected a sequel of some kind, so that's probably why they didn't go with Handsome Jack. But I think, knowing what we know now, they should have just went with Handsome Jack. I'm curious what the budget is for this movie, because from what I understand, it's bombing. It's only day 2 as of this recording, but it's not looking good at all, and it's a shame because I love Borderlands, but you know. It's up. The rating is upped on Rotten Tomatoes. It went. I swear, I saw it once at 0. Then it went to 3. Now it's at 10. And it looks like audience scored it at 51 at least. So it's starting to go up. I imagine too, like a lot of these critics, I highly doubt all these critics are going back to play Borderlands games or played the Borderlands games. I'm sure some of them did, but I just imagine, like, these people are coming in. Hey, they've never played a Borderlands game, and they're trying to figure stuff out. And they're like, "What the hell's going on?" It's fun. I was actually looking here at Creek's actor, Florian Montaño. Okay, I knew I saw. He's in Shang-Chi. I was like, he looks familiar. Anyway, so the story itself, it's a pretty basic story. Like in the first game, they need to find the vault. They think Tina's the vault key, this, that, and the other. And of course, later as the film goes on, which thankfully they kind of went with, because I'm sitting there going, isn't Lilith the siren? Like, why is Tina the siren? That's what I thought it was. Like, I thought they made Tina the siren. I'm like, why? But of course, as the movie came on, it was Lilith. Oh, look, once you know she's the Firehawk, this, that, and the other, like in the games. But it just kind of seemed like it all kind of, I don't know, maybe it was all convenience and stuff like that. The conveniency plot or trope. Music choice, too. So, no Cage the Elephant in this movie, which Cage the Elephant and Borderlands are so synonymous together. And the fact that they didn't use a Cage the Elephant song in this movie. Why? I don't know if they used them in any of the trailers. I'd have to go back and watch. For me, I'm the type that watches one trailer and goes on and just moves on. Because like if I watch a million, because you know how much they reveal in these trailers. So I just watched the one. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go see it, and such. But they had the Heavy, which that's another band that's synonymous with Borderlands. But no Cage the Elephant, no Ain't No Rest for the Wicked, no Trouble, no nothing. I don't know why they didn't do that. It's just weird. And leading into the movie, they had Gearbox Studios and 2K. So like seeing these video game logos, like it looked like I think they were really banking on this kicking off a franchise, and I don't know how they continue after this, because like I don't know, maybe they'll pull something out. Oh, I was trying to find out the budget, but I was like, I don't know how. Like, I think they really overstepped what they thought they could do. $120 million. It's between 110 and 120 million. And this is from Reddit. They're predicting a $10 to $15 million opening. Someone says no fucking hell, it's 120 million. That's the biggest money laundering I've ever seen. Oh, Reddit can be funny sometimes. So, but other than that, so the studio, like I said, I think Randy Pitchford saw all this. And I think the only way to recoup from this, I don't think Gearbox is going out of business. I don't think 2K is going out of business. I don't think any of those people, nobody's going out of business. I'm not alluding to that. But what I am alluding to is the fact that this is a huge blow. It's got to be. $120 million went into this movie. Whatever big blow this is to Gearbox and Borderlands in general, I think it can be simply resolved by just making a fucking video game. What a novel concept. A video game company making a video game. So yeah, I think just make a good game. I mean, like, look at I found a Borderlands, I don't know how accurate this chart is, but Borderlands, the first game, sold 6 million plus. Borderlands 2, 29 million. Borderlands 3, 20 million. So obviously 2 is still the most successful. Then they re-released Handsome Jack Collection, so obviously it's gonna affect that number a little more, pump it up some more. But I think that's pretty much it. All you gotta do is just make a really good video game. But as for this movie itself, it had a plot. I mean, not very high praise. I walked away being kind of very disappointed. But at the same time, it's like I walked in knowing it was bad. But I walked in expecting something fun at the very least, something I could like latch on to. But it's just, it's okay, or it's just nothing. I don't know. I want to say it's okay at the very least, but I can't even say that. I don't think it's good. I don't see myself rewatching it unless, like, I don't know, maybe Drew was curious or something. My friend Drew, which actually, funny enough, we were talking about video game movies earlier, and he's talking about, hey, he really wants to watch the new Silent Hill movie, where it's pretty much the Silent Hill 2 game as the plot, and he goes, I don't care how bad it is, I want to watch it. So like maybe if him and I watch together, we could do a Mark Media episode on that together. So yeah, the movie, it's not good. It's really not good. Plot-wise, just to explain a brief thing, Tina is apparently is a clone. She was created in a lab because she's believed to be able to open the vault that everybody has fought generations to find on Pandora, obviously. Lilith is hired to find her. Roland and Krieg are protecting her, which there was a fight scene between Lilith and Krieg, which is cool to see, but holy plot armor. So they establish at the end of the movie that they're shields, like in the game. And when you're shot at with a shield in the game, it's a force field. And the force field is getting affected. So we see the guy get shot at, and the force field goes up. So his shield got shot at. So telling me Krieg did not wear a shield in this fight. And there's plenty of point blank, if not just close range shots at Krieg. And Krieg is not affected. She kept shooting like maybe his mask, which I guess you could argue his mask may be like special armor. It just it was just hilarious. He wasn't affected. He didn't even get, the only thing I noticed was scratches on his back. That's it. So Krieg was not affected by the bullets, which I love how so quick when Roland pulls up to make the save, because of course Atlas and everybody comes in to grab Tina, how quick they were just accepting of Lilith so fast. And they went through Piss Gulch, a lot of piss jokes. That's the thing about the humor in this movie. I only laughed once. It was something stupid. It was a scene where Tannis has like this digital cleaner, so like it's like a laser that goes up them and it cleans them. So they had to escape somehow through garbage, through like a garbage truck. So they're driving somewhere and they're still covered in garbage, and she uses the thing on her face, and everyone's just kind of looking at her. She goes, "What?" Because of course Tannis in game and canon, she's very neurodivergent and can't really read a room. She's not very social. I'm trying to think of the word for it I'm trying to think of like proper wording for it, but yeah, she just doesn't do people. But that was like the only thing that made me laugh, and I was just kind of sitting like, why did I even laugh at that? It's not that funny. But like, again, a game that had a lot of humor and charm to it, and I'm not laughing one bit in this movie. And it's not like they aren't trying. They have Claptrap making jokes. But it's just kind of not so much that I'm not understanding the joke. I get the joke. I'm just okay. I don't know if it's just because like that sounds like something Claptrap would say. At the very least, with the character direction, they're pretty close to their video game counterparts. So I think they did pretty well with that. I think all the actors did pretty good, actually. I think everybody was cool. I think the only thing that was annoying was Tina, which I don't think you can capture the same Tina as the voice actor they used for her in the video games. Which, funny enough, if you watch, there's a show on Disney Plus called The Ghost of Molly McGee. Ashley Birch, I think her name is. Ashley Birch is the main character in the cartoon, and it's just Tina. She's using Tina's voice. But obviously it's not the same zany Tina, but it's Tina's voice. It's hilarious. But I don't know. I expected Tina to be a lot more, she threw the bombs and she had guns. She wasn't like manic as I thought she should be. She was kind of just a brat who had bombs. That's about it. So obviously, like I said, the MacGuffin or whatever the thing is, they're chasing after Tina, and they think Tina's the key to the vault. Oh, wouldn't you know it? She's not the key to the vault. It's Lilith, who is the Firehawk, which they really kind of... I feel like they kind of crammed that all in there. Just like, oh, by the way, she's the Firehawk. Oh, okay, cool. I knew that because I played in the video games, but I'm just like, okay, that's it. Boom. Firehawk. So she's the one who could open the vault. So, of course, the big fight at the end, the big baddie... they go in the vault. She saves Tina. The giant tentacle monster from the first game grabs the dude, and the day is saved. Celebrations all around. The one scene where they're in the I forgot what their name. The blood something. I'm blanking on the name of the group, but it's like a group of psychos. I thought, them getting chased and them firing away at them to Ace of Spades is pretty cool. Ace of Spades with Motorhead. But, that's it. I watched a movie, but I just feel like it's just uneventful. I don't know how else to describe it other than it's really not worth your time. Like, it's not. And I think that sucks because I love Borderlands. But the movie itself is not good. And I can honestly understand why a critic who, again, has never played the video games walks into this and goes, this is shit. What is this? That's just how it'd be. I think, as I mentioned before, I don't think this is going to kill Gearbox or anything like that. I think they're definitely going to take a huge blow, and I think maybe... And that's a big maybe. They get close to meeting that budget when it releases on stream and physical stuff and whatever. I mean, the only good thing I got out of it was this popcorn bucket, which is it's Claptrap. It's pretty fucking cool. I won't lie. It's really cool. Honestly, if there was any silver lining, there's a fly in this room. Sorry. If there was any silver lining, it's just Claptrap popcorn bucket, which he comes with. Comes with his parts and stuff, but I got the Optimus Prime popcorn bucket and I lost pieces to it trying to put it all together in the movie theater. So I figured don't mess with that. We can mess with that when we get home. But yeah, I'll talk about this on the episode of Plastic People. Me and Zach do the next episode. But for now, movie's not worth it. It's just not worth seeing. I hate to say it. I hate to admit it. Because, again, I love Borderlands. But it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not... I'm not sitting here being like, oh, over the top. Like, oh, this is the shittiest thing I've ever seen. Because it's not. If it was the shittiest thing I've ever seen, at least we could sit here and I could rant and laugh about it. It's just... That's all it is. That's the Borderlands movie in a nutshell. So, that will do it, though, for this episode of Mark Media. Thank you for checking us out. Thank you for giving us a listen. Please support Zach and his projects at Noir1930 on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow me at Moondog Murray on Twitter, Moondog Greg Murray, Instagram, and Facebook. And definitely, I mean, again, I don't recommend seeing it, but if you want to go see it yourself and come up with your own opinion, by all means, go for it. I feel defeated almost. But it is what it is. So, thank y'all for listening. I'll see you later.